TV. And now it's time for this Friday morning's edition of Children's GBC, as George Buxton will be presenting some programmes for this morning, including some snowy themed programmes such as Sodor Railway Tales and a few.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I don't know about you, and welcome to Children's GBC on a Friday morning. Okay, now here we go with the first two programmes. In fact, 2 episodes. Well, it's not obviously back to back, but you get the picture, because we have Series 5, Episode 5, which is no problem. That's the second one, and of course, here we go with the first one from Series 1. And today's story, and it's all about Thomas, Terence, and the snow. That was before it became a TV episode, with the very first on-screen crash. But sadly, it's just a story, so it won't be any crashes on it, though. But anyways, enjoy the story.
Thomas, Terence, and the Snow. Autumn was changing the leaves from green to brown.
And that was Sodor Railway Tales. And if you think that story is over, no, because we have another one. As I said earlier on, here we have Series 5, Episode 5, but where all the tank engines are having a bit of a snow problem. Snow problem? Yeah, that's a good joke. George Buxton is wasting at least 50p this time. Huh? Well, at least he didn't say £1 this time. Phew, £500. Anyways, here's today's story of Sodor Railway Tales from Series 5. Anyways, enjoy.
Snow problem. Thomas was away at a great railway show in York.
Sodor Railway Tales, Series 5, Episode 5, and in fact, that's both of the stories from Sodor Railway Tales, and I'm sure that we'll have more of that probably next time. Oh yeah, and don't forget, now, George Brind or me, well, mainly George Brind, will be broadcasting the 80th anniversary edition, it's all about Thomas's Christmas party, in which there will be a dedication to Brind at the end. But do not miss it, because it's going to be a very special one. So that's coming up next time. But right here on Children's GBC now, it's time for Postman Pat, who goes sledging.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Bum 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 bum, bidum dum dum bum bum, bum 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 bum.
And that was Postman Pat. Well, I'm so glad that he managed to deliver the urgent parcel marked urgent for George. And do you know what he would have done? What he could have done? Well, he did take the sledge, and I mean, it is a long time since he's last rode on one. So I'm so glad that he managed to do that in the end, though. Oh yeah, and as for one hysterical thing that you saw, when Postman Pat and Alf Thompson went into the shed because of a piano crash. Whey! Yeah, like that. Yeah, you probably just saw it. Now, anyways, now, the next programme now, as promised from this Friday morning, now, here is another episode of The Adventures of Parsley, and this time, it's going to be called Parsley's Invention of a Certain Mechanical Dog. And no, I'm not talking about Dill the dog, I'm on about mechanical dog, you know, not either a robot dog, but you'll just see what I mean as you watch this episode to find out. Enjoy.
Today, said Parsley.
And that was The Adventures of Parsley. Well, mind you, I have never seen a strange mechanical dog before, but at least I have now. Yeah, all thanks to Parsley the Lion. So yeah, no wonder why he got his own series of no wonder why Parsley's got his own TV show in the first place. That's after the success of The Herbs. But anyways, I'm sure that we'll have more episodes of The Adventures of Parsley only happening next time, really. So the next programme now, and moving on to Playdays. At this time, we'll be at the Roundabout Stop. And as the Roundabout Stop team will be doing their own version of The Nativity. Now, that's starring with Clive Duncan, oh yes, and even Morris and Millie. And how can we forget Peggy Patch, because she'll be joining in as well, as part of a nativity. But anyways, enjoy the episode.
The play bus! But where does it go? Where does it stop? Watch for the sign of the lollipop. It's the roundabout stop.
Hello!
Playdays. Well, mind you, I'm so glad that that they enjoyed doing the nativity. Yeah, because it was their own version. Yeah, which is brilliant. So now you know what the nativity is. Well, I'm sure you'll probably see the real thing that you can find on a BBC DVD, which is on the DVD recently. But anyway, let's just move away from that. So the next programme now, and this is the first time I've ever get to broadcast one programme that George has done, it's Merlin the Magical Puppy. And there's one thing that Sweep can be related to, and it's none other than an island of sausages. And I'm sure that Merlin would have loved to go there just to eat some sausages as much as anyone could. Because as you all know, some people like sausages, dogs like sausages, and I know cats like to eat fish and meat as well. And lions always eat steaks. Yeah, not like Parsley the Lion, that you saw earlier on. But you'll just see what I mean in today's episode of Merlin the Magical Puppy, starring the voices of Martin Clunes, Dawn French, and Rob Rackstraw. And I would say that's the last straw for Rob Rackstraw. Just a little joke there. Anyways, enjoy the episode.
The magical puppy, he's the puppy for you. He wears a magical collar to make his wishes come true. Merlin, Merlin, won't you come out to play? Merlin, Merlin, you're only a wish away.
Was Merlin the Magical Puppy. Well, mind you, I know that sometimes that Merlin did wish to go to the island of sausages. Well, it's because dogs love sausages. Oh, and there's one thing that you can't do, though. Dogs never eat chocolate. Not even that. So anyways, that's Merlin the Magical Puppy now. And the next programme now is Spitzer. At this time, they're going to be in the Last Stop Cafe, and it's starring Simon and Caitlin. You know, in their Bitzer truck. But will the Last Stop Cafe be good? Well, let's find out. And it is, after all, it is an arts and crafts show out and about. Enjoy.
Bits of this, bits of that. Put them all together and what you've got. Bits and pieces, bits and bobs. Put them all together, what a lovely job. With strings and things and carbon glue. You can do whatever you want. Bits of this, bits of that. Bits and bits and bits and bits and pieces.
Take it back! Take it back! Take it back!
Be another episode of Bitzer, which is only happening next Tuesday. But I'm sure that we've got a good programme coming up next, and it's probably the Chuckle Brothers, as they are in charge of the park. And that's coming up next here on Children's GBC.
4.
And that was Bitzer. Well, mind you, for what Drawbridge already mentioned, that Simon had to climb all the way up to Big Ben. That's just a bit of waste of time for him to do that. But anyways, that's Bitzer. So the last programme now, it's going to be Chucklevision. And today's episode, the Chuckle Brothers are trying to run a holiday camp. Yeah, of course there's no slacking man, and there was a mother and a certain baby called Biff. You know, they like this. 4! I'm okay. Anyways, that's what's known as a baby called Biff. Yeah, not like the Biff that you find on Oxford Reading Tree. Yeah, because obviously that's just a name title for a certain strange baby. But anyways, here's today's episode of Chucklevision, and as Drawbridge would say, oops, I meant to me, to you, to me, to you. Yeah, sorry, I can't resist doing that to read to you roo thing. Anyways, enjoy the episode.
Thank you very much, the Chuckle Brothers. Well, it looks like you're in jail for the time being, but I'm sure that they'll bail them out next week, which is next Tuesday, of course. And of course, don't forget that next Tuesday we will be having some Children's GBC tribute to our fallen associate, No Hair Bear, and I'm sure that will conclude the programmes now. Carry on listening to the music.
And that was Chuckle Vision. And sadly, that was the last programme for today on Children's GBC, and I hope that you enjoyed the programme as I enjoyed broadcasting them, including my first time with broadcasting The Adventures of Parsley. That was from Tuesday, and the same goes with Merlin the Magical Puppy, so that was the first time doing it, and also the second time for The Adventures of Parsley as well. So yep, it was such a success. So anyways, that's pretty much about it now for today. But don't you worry though, viewers, and I'm pretty sure that we'll have some more fun with Children's GBC as we are coming up to Christmas very soon. Now, because me and Brind will be doing some Christmas themed programmes, not together, but we're just doing it individually like we usually do. Now, because the Christmas Eve is obviously happening next week, about next few weeks after, well, you'll just see why, and I know that Brind will probably explain that probably very soon. But until then, see you next time, and I'm sure we'll have Christmas themed programmes from now on next week. So don't miss it. Bye bye everybody. See you real soon. Bye bye. Now, and I know it's a bit too early for me to say Merry Christmas.
Watching GTV. Now, if you've already had some cartoons on children's GTV, well, mainly some stop-motion animated shows like Postman Pat, well, you're going to love this Christmas classic all the way back from the 60s. So, here is Frosty the Snowman.